a game of passion. It just is. It's their team. It's their family.
Was kind of the guy that I didn't start skating until I retired from the Marine Corps. So,
really? Thank you for serving.
You're very welcome. I was 38 when I put ice skates on for the first time, so definitely a late bloomer. They basically have a program just like Learn to Play for kids, only it's designed for adults. And so, and we all come from different backgrounds as far as our military experience and also our hockey experience.
On July 3rd of the year 2020, the St. Louis Blues announced the beginning of a new hockey team that they would be supporting called the St. Louis Blues Warriors.
It's a game of passion. It just is. I think when they all step on the ice, the adrenaline just kicks up, even when it's just practice. And so I grew up with the rink, 15 outside my back door, and as a kid that. You skated before school, at lunch, after school, and hopefully if you get your homework done, get to go again. But right. It's infectious. It just is. That's the game.
The real question is, what is it about this team that makes it so special? How did this group even start? What does this team bring to the ice that separates themselves from others? Well, the answer is, this is no ordinary non-profit organization. This is not your average competitive hockey league. All of the players who compete for the St. Louis Blues Warriors have various backgrounds serving the U.S. military. This team has a roster complete of retired, injured, and disabled United States veterans. On the day of the announcement of this new squad, Executive Vice President and Chief Revenue Officer of the Blues made a statement on the sport of hockey and the team's excitement towards introducing these new athletes. Chapman stated, "Hockey is a sport that teaches and requires many important life skills to play the game, including teamwork, acceptance, dedication, and leadership, among many others. But most importantly, it provides an escape from daily routine from those who need it. We are proud to partner with these brave men and women who fought for our freedom and ensure there are no barriers for them to play hockey in an inclusive and safe environment. We believe hockey is for everyone and will continue to provide opportunities for anyone who wants to play."
It was started during a pandemic, so a little bit more difficult to fundraise and get awareness. Mm-hmm. It's starting to come, starting to get some major sponsors and whatnot. So, I think that's the next big step for them. Really, is just to get this out in the public eye. It's an incredible group. It's a group that is very difficult not to want to help support.
In 2020, the team started out with just 24 individual recruited players that all had been involved in the Army. Now, the organization has made it large enough for 4 separate teams named Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, and Delta to all enjoy the amazing sport. I was able to speak on the phone with former professional ice hockey defenseman Rob Ramage on how the team got started and what makes it so unique.
They'd reached out to CFA alumni were interested in coaching, so it was, it was summer 2020. The pandemic was on. Being what it was, I was able to get to a lot of practices and get involved with the group. It was started during a pandemic, so a little bit more difficult to fundraise and get awareness. Mm-hmm. It's starting to come, starting to get some major sponsors and whatnot. So, I think that's the next big step for them. Really, is just to get this out in the public eye. It's an incredible group. It's a group that is very difficult not to want to help support.
And so their adult program is for players kind of like who I was, which is adults who have very little to no hockey experience and want to learn the game as an adult.
Right.
And so they basically have a program just like Learn to Play for kids, only it's designed for adults. And so with some of our teams are structured based on skill.
Okay.
So we've got a place for everybody, whether you're a collegiate level player, which we have a few of those that played in college, all the way to people who've literally never put ice skates on before.
Right.
And so for Winterland, some of our lower level ability teams are a perfect fit for Kevin, the director of Winterland, with his Learn to Play adults, because it's a fairly low level of hockey,
right,
on both sides. So it's fun, it's competitive, and no one feels like they're getting railroaded. So
they've all had their military experiences. A lot of them have seen action,
right,
and have been through some very, very difficult things. And we're watching it in living color right now with what's going on in Ukraine. So, as horrific as it is for us to watch that, a lot of these warriors lived it.
And we all come from different backgrounds as far as our military experience and also our hockey experience. Because I don't know how much they talked about it on the radio, but we are technically, the Warrior League is for disabled veterans. So it's not just any veteran to have a disability from your time in service. And for some people that's physical disability, for some people that's mental disability like PTSD and things like that, or it could be a mix of both. And we have folks that are as little as 10%, and we have people that are 100%, a total disability.
You think about coming from that type of a situation back home to, families, wives, children, jobs. That's a big transition.
I can only imagine.
So, it's a group that they feel very comfortable with each other because they've lived those experiences. So there's a great empathy that they have for one another, and they can talk, in their language that of experience, which is, I think, a lot more difficult for them to do with people that never gone through the trials and the trauma that they have. So it's just, and for me, I guess and obviously, hockey was not war.
Right.
But there's a commonality of the camaraderie of team and caring for each other that translates right from us alumni hockey players to these military veterans.
If I could just get your name and sort of how you got involved with the team.
This is Eric Cochran over here.
It's a huge organization, and been there. We first started out, there were 16 of us. First practice has been just over 2 years ago now.
And it's all disabled veterans. So, and not only hockey, but it's just the camaraderie that we play with each other. So that's even best. So,
if you had one favorite thing you get out from the team, maybe it's from your guys, maybe it's just from actually playing the actual sport, is there anything really you just love about the most?
Well, they say hockey heals. That's what they say. Hockey heals, and we all suffer through a lot from being overseas and stuff like that. So this is what helps us heal and have fun and forget about that stuff and just be with each other. So.
But the St. Louis Blues Warriors don't actually require these players to play or give in anything at all. In fact, it's what the team gives the players that has been keeping them playing for the past 2 years. All these brave men and women all have the same thing in common in serving our country and protecting our freedom. But once they step onto the ice, it's the Blues that gave them a chance to express themselves individually and show their love for the sport and each other. Whether the players on the team have been playing the sport of hockey since they were 5, or they are just now picking up a stick after serving in the military, the St. Louis Blues Warriors have had nearly 2 amazing years letting these men and women play the sport that bring them so close together.
And there hasn't been a day after practice I've walked out of that ring without a big S-eating grin on my face.